Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Joya Gaura Translation to Sri Krishna Chaitanya is, "O my dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls, but I assure you, you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you're always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance on me, then I may also become happy. Yes. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be merciful to me. If you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. O Swarup Damodar, personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya, O six Goswamis, Sri Rupas Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. O Lokanath Goswami, my beloved spiritual master, Narottam Das also prays for your mercy. O Srinivasacharya, successor to the six Goswamis, please be merciful to me. Narottam Das always desires the company of Ramachandra Chakravarti. Lord Gaura Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya, Ki Jai. Jai. What is this, 500 and how many years now since? 86 now. So it must be 29 or 30, right?
5:30.
5:30, yeah, or 29, depending how you count it, you know. Now, my question is, what is the regular verse that we have come to successively here?
Bhagavatam?
Yeah.
7, 14, 13.
Let's read that one. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Nashtabreshu Bhadreshu.
Nastapreshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavatir Tamashloke.
Bhagavatir Tamashloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki.
What was the number?
13.
13, okay. Canto 7, chapter 14, which is entitled Ideal Family Life. Text number 13. Krivid Vashma Nishtan Tam Kvedam Tujam Kalevaram Kvatatiya Ratir Varya Kvayam Atma Navashchavi. Please repeat. Krimi.
Krimi.
Insects.
Insects.
germs, vit, stool, basma, ashes, nishta, attachment, antam, at the end, kva, what is, idam, this body, tucham, very insignificant, kalevaram, material tabernacle. That's another word for the body. Being raised as a Roman Catholic, I associate this word with this little box that they have on the altar where they keep the Eucharist, the body of Christ, and they call that the tabernacle.
Have a dictionary
Yeah, here we go.
There's two definitions. One in biblical use, a fixed or movable habitation, typically a light construction. A meeting place for worship used by some Protestants or Mormons.
Okay. Goes to show my definition has been outdated. Movable habitation. Protestants and Mormons. Yes, this is a complex religious landscape that we are globalized in nowadays. So, by good fortune, we have Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day today. It's wonderful. Srila Sangha and Oasis in Denmark. More about that later. Okay, now we'll carry on here. That was Kalevaram. Now, Kva. What is that? Tadiyarati. Attraction for the body. Varya. Wife. Kva'ayam. What is the value of this body? Atma. The Supreme Soul. Navachadi. All pervading like the sky. Translation and purport. So this must be Narada Muni speaking here to Yudhishthira.
Yeah.
Okay. So Narada says, translation, through proper deliberation, one should give up attraction to his wife's body, because that body will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. What is the value of this insignificant body? How much greater is the Supreme Being, who is all-pervading like the sky? Purport. Here also the same point is stressed. This is a reference to the context here. Let's just look at the previous verse from those of us who weren't here yesterday. One so seriously considers his wife to be his own that he sometimes kills himself for her, or kills others, including even his parents or his spiritual master or teacher. Therefore, if one can give up his attachment to such a wife, he conquers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's never conquered by anyone. So Prabhu said here the same point is stressed. One should give up attachment for his wife, or in other words, for sex life. If one is intelligent, he can think of his wife's body as nothing but a lump of matter that will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. In different societies, there are different ways of dealing with the human body at the time of the funeral ceremony. In some societies, the body is given to the vultures to be eaten, and therefore the body ultimately turns to vulture stool. Sometimes the body is merely abandoned, and in that case the body is consumed by small insects. In some societies the body is immediately burned to death, and thus it becomes ashes. In any case, if one intelligently considers the constitution of the body and the soul beyond it, what is the value of the body? Antavanta ime deha nityas yokta sharirina. The body may perish at any moment, but the soul is eternal. If one gives up attachment for the body and increases his attachment for the spirit soul, his life is successful. It is merely a matter of deliberation. That sounds Prabhupada's work to this. 13th verse, 14th chapter, 7th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Krimi vid bashman nishtam tam kvedam tucham kalevaram kvatadiya ratir bharga klayamatvam bashchadi. Through proper deliberation, one should give up attraction to his wife's body, because the body will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. What is the value of this insignificant body? How much greater is the Supreme Being who is all-pervading like the sky? Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshura Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru. Let me offer my humble obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who, for the creation of the material world, accepts the three modes of nature. He is the supreme whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. So this verse is very suitable for what we're doing.
Okay.
Because Lord Chaitanya was the Bhagavatam personified. Right? We've heard so many times that there's two Bhagavatams. One is the book Bhagavat, and the other is the person Bhagavat. So we're supposed to understand the Bhagavatam from the person Bhagavat. It's popular in India with Bhagavat Saptahas, the recitation of the Bhagavatam. You can see quite. I've heard, I'm not so well traveled in India's villages, but I heard that they're pretty all-pervasive. And we saw in Mayapur, actually, when I was there, that there were at least 3 Bhagavat Saptahas, well attended. Of course, these were good Saptahas that devotees were giving, and you could argue that these devotees were person Bhagavats, or representatives of the person Bhagavat. So there's no critique there about Bhagavat Saptaha in itself, but one of the major themes in Prabhupada's books was the qualification of the speaker of the Bhagavatam. You could ask me, how do I dare to sit here then? Well, we are in the process here with Krishna consciousness movement of the vocation to become actually living Bhagavats. Closer? Yeah. Prabhupada, he instilled in us this ambition to, that sainthood was a practical possibility for us, despite the fact that we're, speaking for myself, a lot of negative background, samskaras, and sinful impressions that are, take a lifetime. Now this year I'll be celebrating the 40th year anniversary of my initiation. But it's a lifetime's, business to become a devotee of Krishna. I hope I would have had the courage to make the same decision had I known then what I know now, how long it would take. He was a brave Bhakta there, Bhakta John, took the vows there. But by the grace of this process, and by the grace of Krishna, we can claim to be candidates for, and if we repeat without unnecessary tampering with the content of the Bhagavatam, then this process is effective, even though we may have our personal limitations. Lord Chaitanya did say that on my order you become my representative and present Krishna consciousness in your circle. So, in that light, I would just like to praise the nice yatra here in Copenhagen. Just imagine having a facility here where in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, Prabhu Muhurta, you can have a kirtan loud as you like with a mridanga and blowing the conch and everything. It's really wonderful that the devotees can dispel the darkness of sleep. Personally speaking, I came back from a long trip, and unlike Prabhupada, whose dictionary didn't contain the word jet lag, I was totally wiped out. I slept for too many hours yesterday and last night. Woke up this morning, so it was very invigorating for me to be able to come and hear the Mangal Arti this morning. It's at such, there were, I think, almost 15, 20 devotees here, And this sets a standard for all the congregation here in Copenhagen. They know, or they should know, or they can know, that, every day at the temple at 4:30 during the Brahma Muhurta, there's a regular morning program. From that, they can, adjust themselves to whatever they're capable of according to their ashram situation and their karma and time, etc., work and everything. Hare Krishna. So that's the importance of the temple functions. And, it's really essential that this program goes on just like Prabhupada created it. And the second part, also Guru Puja, deity greeting, nice new outfit today. How many hours of work required to acquire the material and all the sequins and paraphernalia and have a sewing room and people to sew who actually took the time to figure out how to make an outfit that fits and looks nice and on time. So this is devotion. And Lord Chaitanya certainly notices, no doubt. He's not different from his Murti here, Lord Nityananda. Will shower their mercy upon the devotees here for maintaining the deity worship required, because we're so attached to our spouse's wife, It says here wife, it's from the man point of view, but nowadays it could be for your, the boy's boyfriend or, the girl's girlfriend or whatever. And this applies equally well. Actually, when Prabhu was in Scandinavia, he mentioned this point that, the word, here it's kalebaram, and the word for wife is bharya. He was saying the word yoshit, which is another word for the woman, or the opposite sex. Prabhupada was making this point that it's not just the form of woman, but it's, the touch, the taste, the sound, anything that our senses are attracted to about the other sex. And that doesn't mean just from the man's point of view, but it means also, he mentioned in another place that yoshit for the man is woman, but for the woman, the yoshit is man. It's like, across the board. And I guess that means for a homosexual, it means, the whatever, your boyfriend or girlfriend, and for people, even your own body can be misused for sex. So, it can be, it's broader than, objectified, which some people would misunderstand because we're so, this is such a, kind of push-button issue here with the gender issues, I think, safe to say. From my point of view, it seems like people are very involved in this train of thought. So I just wanted to clear the board here that, you know, we're not talking about some predated scriptural point of view that is no longer applicable. That's not a fact. You know, this is a universal principle here that we're attached to our bodies. Is there anyone who wants to make an exceptional argument? Somebody, one sannyasi, showed me that there was a contemporary in the Ramanuja Sampradaya who was born with tilak. I forget his name, but he's a sannyasi now. He's like 60 or something. But you know, he was born, we had a wrinkle, you know, not this way, but right in the middle. You know, it's kind of like the Ramanuja Sampradaya. They go like this and then they put something in the middle. So, you know, it was interpreted that he had tilak from the start. And he lived like that, you know, he grew up, he was totally disinterested in anything except, you know, he's a sannyasi his whole life. Yeah, but normally, say, 99.9% of us, we could say that we're too attached to our bodies and that this is a good verse for us to deliberate on. Here it's the word deliberation is emphasized. We should carefully consider what it is that we attend our interest to. Where are we going to invest our time today? You know, are you going to go on Sankirtan? Are you going to cook for the deities? Are you going to arrange for the guests and whatever? Are you going to chant your 16 rounds today? Or do something for Krishna? This is it's simply merely a matter of deliberation. But it should be put into practice, right? Deliberation is one thing, you know, but then sooner or later we're forced by, you know, time and circumstances to move. So if we engage ourselves in Krishna consciousness, then just like we read this morning, Prabhupada was there in New York exactly 50 years ago, and hoping somehow to get something started against all odds. Actually, he came there with no thought that there was any possibility of staying more than, you know, a short while. And,